Boys and girls watching, today we're going to talk about something really exciting. Have you ever gotten something in the mail? Maybe grandma or grandpa sent you something in the mail. Maybe it was a letter or a package. You ever wonder how it gets to your house? Well, that's how we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about how that happens. Well, if you wanted a mail letter, maybe you sat down and you colored a beautiful picture. You wrote a letter to grandma and grandpa. Maybe you thanked them for something that they did for you and you wanted to send them a letter. Maybe boys and girls watching, maybe you'd like to send us a letter. You could write to Mrs. Stewart. I would love to hear from you. So you write Mrs. Stewart a letter, and then you put it in an envelope and you put the address on it. And you put the name on who it's going to go to, and then you have to put something up in the corner of it.
Stamp.
Yes, you have to put a stamp on it. And that stamp you get from the post office, and that special stamp will allow you to mail your letter. Now, you could do two things. You could go to the post office and bring your letter. The post office is a place where all the letters go to and all the packages go to. Or you could put it in your mailbox, and on your mailbox there is a little red flag. And that red flag is from maybe mommy and daddy have let you put that flag up, or if the flag is up and they get their mail out, you get to put it down. But if you put it up, that lets the mail carrier know that there is mail in there to be delivered. So when the mail lady or the mail carrier comes, it could be a man or a woman. Sometimes it depends on the day. Sometimes it's a lady that brings me my mail, and sometimes it's a gentleman that brings me my mail. It depends on the day. And they will come to your house and they will pull the mail out, and then you can put the flag down, or sometimes they will put the flag down, letting you know that they've picked up the letter. Well, after they've picked up that letter, then they drive it to the post office. And at the post office, they're going to sort it. Sort it means they take all the mail and they sort it. And some letters are going to go this way, and some letters are going to go this way. Sometimes they go to different countries, so they make sure that they go to the right places. And they have to sort all the mail. And then they have these big trucks or airplanes that will take the mail. So if your grandma or grandpa, let's say your grandma and grandpa lives in Ohio, or they live in Virginia, or they live in Africa, the trains or the planes or the trucks that will deliver the mail to those places, that mail will go on that truck. So if the truck's going to go to Virginia, then that's where that's going to go. If it's going to go to Ohio, then that's the truck it's going to go on, or the airplane, and they will take it and they will fly there. Sometimes the mail even will go by ship. Isn't that neat? That your mail will go and it'll sail across the ocean? Isn't that pretty cool? Maybe some of you that are watching right now, if you sent me a letter, it would come by ship or by airplane. That would be really neat. And then that comes, and then those that come over to here by airplane or ship will go to those post offices, and they will sort the mail, and then it goes on these trucks right here, and the letter carriers will take the mail to your house or to the different companies or wherever it needs to go. So that when you go to the mailbox, then you know you can go to the mailbox and then there's your letter will be there. Sometimes the mail's for you, sometimes it's for mommy and daddy, and you never know what the mail's going to be in there. Maybe mommy sometimes will say, oh, this is junk mail. Have you ever heard mommy say that? It's junk mail. That means it's just some fun mail that's not super important, or sometimes there's going to be envelopes that are really, really important, like bills and things like that will be in there. And then there's the fun mail, those packages or those fun letters from grandma and grandpa that will come to your house. That is so much fun. Well, not only do these hard workers have to come and mail your letters, but you know what? They have to be very dependable, don't they? They have to know where to go. They have to know how to drive. So you know how we talked about the police officers, how they have a beat, and the beat is where they go and where they drive around all the time. That's their beat. Well, it's kind of like what the letter carriers have. They know exactly what neighborhoods that they're going to deliver. So everybody is assigned to a different neighborhood where they will go and deliver the mail. So you have to be very dependable. You have to drive very carefully, and you have to know how to go to each of these houses. So that's a big job to do, but it's a fun job that you get to go and deliver all the packages and all the letters. It's so fun to do that. And then you can deliver mail to your grandma and grandpa, or to whoever you want to mail a letter to. It will make it, if you have the address, the right address on the front, You have to put a return address, that's your address on the envelope, and then you put a stamp on the envelope, and that will help you. Mommy and Daddy can help you with that to mail those letters. Well, do you know that a long, long time ago, though, before they had airplanes, before they had trains and cars and trucks, how did they ever deliver their mail? Do you know?
No.
Well, they used to use something called the Pony Express. Say that with me. The Pony Express. The Pony Express. How do you think, by just thinking of that name, do you think they delivered the mail by?
A horse.
By a horse. Yes, Carter. Good job. They would ride horses because the people didn't live next door to each other like you do today. People didn't live in apartments. They didn't have apartments like we do today. People didn't live right next door to each other like we do today. Long time ago, they would live far, far, far away. There would be a house here, and then miles and miles and miles away would be another house. So they didn't really have neighbors like we have today. So if people wanted to get mail to people all over the place in different, maybe in different cities and things like that, when they didn't have cars or trucks or airplanes, they would go by horse. And the letter carriers would ride their horses to the different towns and deliver the mail. They would have post offices like we have today, and they would sort the mail, and then they would deliver the mail by horse. Isn't that neat? So even a long, long time ago, they would have Pony Express. What's it called?
Pony Express.
Pony Express, and that's how people would get their mail way before they had cars and trains and trucks and things like that. But isn't that neat? Isn't it fun to get packages? Oh, I love to go to the mailbox and see what's going to be in my mailbox today. Sometimes there's coupons in my mailbox. Sometimes there's bills in my mailbox. Sometimes there's letters in there from family and friends. It's fun to get cards like at Christmas time and your birthday. Oh, it's really exciting. I love when it's my birthday and I get cards in my box. I love hearing from friends. And boys and girls watching, I'd love to hear from you. That would be a lot of fun, isn't it? And it's fun to get a letter. So you could maybe go home and write a letter to maybe your grandma or your grandpa or maybe a cousin. And you could write a letter, and then Mommy and Daddy can help you to put in an envelope and address it. That means put their address on it. And then you could put it in your mailbox. And what do you have to put up on your mailbox so that the letter carrier knows that you have mail in there to be delivered?
The flag.
The flag. That's right, that flag on there. And if you put the flag up, that means there's a letter in there. So you shouldn't play with the mailbox. It's not a toy. So if you have a letter that has a stamp on it that needs to go to somebody else, then you would put that flag up, and that's how you know. Maybe it's your job to get the mail out every day. Every week we take turns at my house. The little boys do, and they take turns to get the mail. Maybe that's your job, boys and girls watching. Your job is to get the mail every day, and you can go get the mail, and you can put that flag down and know. Now, sometimes mail comes at a different time. Maybe it comes early in the morning. Maybe your mail comes later in the afternoon. At my house, it comes late in the afternoon. So I have to wait. If I get home too early, then I have to leave that flag up because I know that the mail has not been picked up yet or delivered. So I have to watch. But the letter carrier is such a nice person, and they come and every day and they deliver. But you know what? On holidays, you know how you get a break sometimes from school on holidays and special vacation days? So do they. When we have special holidays that everybody celebrates, so do they. They get a break too, and they get vacation. So they're not going to deliver mail on vacation days. Not the same time as we do, but sometimes, like Christmas and holidays like that, Labor Day, things like that, they will not deliver the mail too because they take a vacation day too, and it's so neat. But a letter carrier is a community helper that helps to deliver our mail. And sometimes it's their job to drive the truck and to deliver the mail. Sometimes there's people that work in the post office that sort the mail. And other jobs are to fly the planes or to drive the trucks or even be on the boats to help deliver the mail. So you never know. Maybe that could be your job. And you could be a letter carrier someday. That would be a lot of fun. Boys and girls watching, maybe today you could write a letter and tell somebody that you love them or thank them, or even write me a letter, and you could address it and put it in the mailbox. And don't forget to put that red flag up so that we know that it's time for the letter carrier to pick it up.